review. Today is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. CPI data and PPI data from China were published overnight. As you can see, there are a mixed bag of data. That generally CPI is worse than expected, 0.2 previous number, minus 0.1 actual number. PPI deteriorates even further from minus 2.1% to minus 2.2%. Christine Lagarde will give a speech at 5 to noon today, and then we smoothly come to the USA session. Core CPI and CPI data are scheduled for release at half past 2. We got the interest rate decision from Bank of Canada scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. The market participants expect the Bank of Canada to hold the interest rate at the level of 2.25%. Rate statement and press conference will follow the interest rate decision as well. Crude oil inventories data are scheduled for release at 4:30. CPI data from the Russian Federation are scheduled for release 6 minutes past 6 o'clock. But the major event of the day is obviously the interest rate decision from the American Federal Reserve Bank. This event will take place as usual at 8 o'clock, and the market participants expect a cut from 4% to 3.75%. Together with the interest rate decision, we will have the FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement, and press conference. So, a very busy rest of the day, evening, and the rest of the day. So, without any further ado, let's take a look what is going on charts. We'll start with euro dollar. So, the technical picture of the euro dollar is showing us that the market has been trading inside of the range. Located between the potential high for the wave 3, if this is a correction, 1.1683, and then whipsaw mode pullback towards the technical support at 1.1616. We broke below the trend line, and now we are back above the trend line. So as you can see, this is a mixed bag of data hitting now the window, the markets, as the market is positioning itself ahead of the Fed interest rate decision. So we shouldn't expect much of a volatility until the decision is published. Obviously, if there is a surprise, it doesn't matter. If there is bigger cut than expected, or lower cut than expected, or there is no cut, or if there is a hike or something like this, the volatility will be very, very big. So please stay focused, stay vigilant. For now, the market is just positioning itself ahead of the data. There is still at least 10 hours, around 10 hours for the data release. So right now, rather limited chaotic movement here and there for the euro dollar. Not much is apparently going on here. So we are waiting for the interest rate decision and see what the further movement will be. So cable again is trying to move higher. Nevertheless, after the first breakout of the local trend line, we made a 1.3355 high, and then the market came back below the trend line, and yet again we got a new local low. The range was the Friday. This is Monday. Yes, this is the 8th. So the weekend zone has been violated. So, well, of course we can move this trend line here, but remember, this is very weak trend line, only one place of the support. So it's not really something special. And as you can see, this candlestick formation is looking very bearish. Doji candlestick formation. Some sort of the downside pullback has been played out. Nevertheless, it looks like it's not that deep enough. We need to test 1.30 to 74 before eventually the up movement will be continued. And the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, nice breakout above the trend line. Very nice movement to the upside. Local high 156.96. So we retraced a lot. And these days, this high here, 156.59, will be the technical support for the market. The other one, 155.73, will be technical support for the market. I'm not quite sure how to improve it because it doesn't actually look like market recognize this. So maybe this one would be a little bit better. 156.19, just above the 100 piece moving average on a 4-hour time frame chart, which is located at 156.04. Please notice we hit extremely overbought conditions. So now some sort of the pullback might be happening on the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. US dollar index, nice movement to the upside, a breakout out of this this range here, a local high 99.28, and then a reversal, or maybe not reversal, pullback. Okay, pullback, pullback down towards the technical support level, towards the level of 50 on the RSI. So not that bad whatsoever. Let me just take a look what is going on here. We got this measurement here, so we don't need it that much, and we will move this support lower. We will move it towards 98.74 as the major technical support, and obviously this correction here must be considered as a corrective in nature. There's too many overlapping inside the subways. There is like a whipsaw trading, as you can see here. The conditions are very poor. They're completely different than the directional movement. Nevertheless, the bulls managed to make a high at 99.28, and before the Fed interest rate decision, we got a slight movement to the downside, back inside of the range. But this is all positioning ahead of the Fed interest rate decision, because this is the US dollar index. Is gold doing something similar here? No, absolutely not. Since the low of located at 4,163, this is December 2nd, 2025, we've been moving like this, you know, sideways market, just above the 100 piece moving average, just above the broken trend line. Not much is going on. It looks like this local gains are now being consolidated, and then we will have the decision. Sooner or later we'll have this decision on gold, whether we go up or we go down. For now, sideways market. Let's take a look at another asset that might be very interesting in the context of Fed interest rate decision later on tonight. This is obviously the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin seen very nice spike to the upside. We took the liquidity above 94,081, local high 94,595, so $500 more, and we hit the level of 66 points on the RSI. There is still some room to the upside. There is still some room towards the upper channel line. If this is a channel, of course, we don't know. We just place some lines on the chart, and according to our scenario, it kind of looks like that, like a ascending channel, ascending parallel channel. But nevertheless, the levels don't line. Technical resistance 98,130. The next one is 98,953. So this is the supply zone. And that's the next target for the bulls in that micro cycle, within this situation here that is going on inside of this channel. So there is a high probability that we are going to have a upside movement if this level here, so this is the high from the December 4th, 2025, is violated, right? If it is clearly violated, if there is 4-hour time frame candle close above this level, chances are high that we test the upper channel line, and then even sooner or later the supply zone on one of this technical resistance levels. So the Bitcoin market is positioning itself ahead of the Fed. As you can see, volatility is very, very limited here these days. Nevertheless, it still looks very nice for a potential movement to the upside. But because of this overlapping micro cycles or subways, you can see that this is purely corrective in nature. We took the liquidity first out of this local high, 93,008. Then we wait and made this low. Then we took the liquidity yet again. Then that was the low. We took the liquidity from the low here. Then we go up. We took the liquidity from this high here. So right now is just the typical market microstructure game, liquidity game, taking the liquidity from the local low and taking the liquidity from the local high. So as you can see right now, the question is whether this liquidity took above this swing high from the December 4th, 94,153 is big enough to push the prices back towards, for example, 100 periods moving average, which is surprisingly good for providing short-term dynamic support for the bulls. So market are in waiting mode before the Fed interest rate decision. So please stay focused, stay vigilant as well. After 8 o'clock tonight, everything will be clear. For me, that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.